The Granville Foundation helps make our community the wonderful place that it is. From the flowering community gardens to the bricks and mortar of downtown's historical museums, the Granville Foundation contributes heavily to the community's well-being. Carl Frazier initially was the president of People's State Bank in Granville. When People's was purchased by Park National Bank, he became manager of the Granville branch. Carl was like Mr. Granville for a lot of years. He came up with this idea for a community foundation and gathered a core group of people in the community together. And together they decided that they would do this great thing. That was in 1971.
In the beginning, the founders of the Granville Foundation began by seeking other community members to pay a $10 membership fee so they could give out grants to help fund things around the community. That grew, and the number of people donating $10 a year grew as well, as did the number of organizations funded. And every year, the foundation sent out a mailing generating enough money to do a little bit more incrementally each year, to the point where today, 40 years later, we have an endowment of approximately $1.8 million, and we collect about $20,000 a year in gifts and donations, and we are thereby enabled to give out about $60,000 a year in grants to various organizations throughout the community. Over the years, we've funded the Vintage Voices, the Granville Fellowship, the Senior Citizens activities, Girl Scout organizations, Boy Scout organizations, the Granville Blues Fest, and this year we'll probably be funding some at least of the Granville Kiwanis 4th of July fireworks show, and we've done a whole raft of other things to better the community.
The Granville Foundation transcends those political lines that divide us and overarches everybody's smaller interests and concerns.
I feel extremely fortunate to have been able to serve on the Granville Foundation when Carl Frazier was still a part of this board, and was especially proud of the work that I saw being done at that time. And now to be able to come back to the board and work with an extremely effective group that represents our community quite well, I'm happy to see that the foundation in many ways has come full circle. And I think the work that we do is always trying to live by what Carl established for this community, and yet to better understand the needs of the community as it changes and evolves. And I think as we look ahead, many of us are excited about the possibilities of the Granville Community Foundation, and believe that what we're doing is important, and hope that the community also believes and supports the work that the foundation is doing now and wants to do in the future. So I think we can all look ahead to a very bright future for the Granville Foundation.
In Granville, none of us is really an owner. We're stewards of the community. And in recent years, we have been fortunate enough to have several Granville residents leave us very large legacy donations through their estate plans. And this is what, in large part, has allowed the Granville Community Foundation to do so much good in our community for the last several years, and even before then. Some of our families here in Granville are with us for 1 or 2 generations, and others for just a few years. And the Granville Community Foundation, regardless of how long you've lived here, provides a wonderful opportunity to create a lasting personal legacy in our community. By designating even a small part of your estate to the Granville Foundation, you can assure that Granville remains the special place that it is today for future generations of Granville residents.
As the community has grown, the Granville Foundation has been able to assist in the preservation of its parks and other community spaces. The wonderful flower gardens that bloom downtown through the growing seasons, the festive atmosphere experienced during the Blues Fest or the holiday season, or so many other wonderful projects. The Granville Foundation helps the community function as a caring place to live. When you think about the kind of community that Granville is, it's a great place to come home to. The parks, the schools, community events, charity gifts for those in need. Think about all the things that glue us all together. Those are the things that make Granville different. Those are the things that make Granville a kind and caring place to live. In recent years, the Granville Foundation has even provided funding to a group of students at Granville High School so they could travel to hard-hit regions of the Gulf states that were recovering from Hurricane Katrina.
When I approached the Granville Foundation for funding to support our alternative spring break trips to the Gulf Coast communities, I was pleased with the reaction that I got from each one of them. The foundation saw that our students working outside of Granville could positively impact our own community, and those goals have been realized. As our students have worked side by side with residents who are displaced from their very homes, I've been privileged to see growth in a very tangible way, more than hanging drywall or mudding sheetrock, but in a lifestyle and in an attitude. The type of nurture and caring attitude that we want from our students in Granville. I have the Granville Foundation to thank because they have supported 100% of what we have asked for over the last 3 years. Without their support, many of our students would not have been able to participate in what is a very life-changing trip for them.
But the Granville Foundation provides help at home for those living right here in the village and throughout the school district too. One way that the foundation quietly gives support is by providing a fund to provide temporary housing for those who may be homeless.
In a community such as Granville, it may be surprising to find out that there are people who need housing or need assistance in hanging on to their housing. But in fact, in these recent economic times, it's been really important that the Granville Foundation has been working hand in hand with the Licking County Coalition for Housing to assist a number of homeless or at-risk families here in Granville to hang on to their housing, or actually in a couple cases find housing. So it's extremely important that those who are giving to the Granville Foundation understand and appreciate that even right here in Granville, the work of the Granville Foundation is so important. I can't tell you how grateful the people we have helped over the last couple of years have been. It is a tremendous opportunity to assist those in need. It makes me really proud to be a member of the Granville community.
The Granville Foundation, a wonderful gift, caring for the community, caring about its people.